Right, continuing on. This is part 2 of Revelation, the 17th chapter. I'm going to start at verse 7. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? Okay, because John was marveling. He was like, he saw this great kingdom, and really it was in the form of a woman. You know, as Elder Apostle Tahar would say, she was built like an Edomite brick house. So she was good, man. She looked good, you know. Continuing on, I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, now the angel is about to break down to John exactly what the vision was that he showed him. Okay, verse 8, the beast that thou sawest was and is not. Okay, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose name were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. All right, so the bottomless pit is Europe, and the beast that John saw, which is and is not, is America. Okay, the head of America, the head of the modern day Roman Empire. Okay, America is the head of the modern day Roman Empire, because the first Rome we know fell roughly 2,000 years ago, but the empire was revived today in today's age, and it's being led by America. Okay, as you see in the vision, that the woman is sitting upon the beast. Okay, we know that woman is, America. All right, she is the head of the Roman Empire. This is why when you years back, Donald Trump, he went over there to Europe, and he was pushing around those European leaders, because he was the president of the head of Rome, all right, of modern day Rome. Okay, Rome 2.0, if you will. All right, perdition, meaning destruction, because according to prophecy, the end all be all of will be destruction. Okay, you can read that in really just about all the books, if not all the books. It's prophesied the destruction of America. Okay, we're gonna start at continuing on at verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Okay, now the 7 heads are 7 mountains. So the 7 heads or mountains represent major governments. For example, there's a meeting held every year where the leaders of different major governments meet. This meeting is called the summit. When you look up the word summit, it means the highest point of a mountain. But in this particular verse, The mountains are the governments of the major European nations. Okay. Verse 10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. Okay, and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. All right. This is verse 10. All right, so the 7 kings. Okay, the fact that 7 kings are mentioned as 7 mountains itself proves the mountains are really talking about leaders of 7 governments. Okay. Slovakia. Slovakia, kind of lost my track. Bear with me a second, Bakasha. Okay, so we broke down the 9th verse. Let's go down to the 10th verse. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he come, he must continue a short space. Okay, so expounding upon verse 10. Okay, so again, the 7 kings, the fact that 7 kings are mentioned as 7 mountains itself, proves the mountains really are talking about leaders of 7 governments. All right. The 5 that are fallen, 5 that fell, are the Greeks, Spanish, Germania Major and Germania Minor, and the French. Okay. The one that is the Roman Empire. Okay. And the other is not yet come. This is Great Britain, because at that time Britain wasn't established. But we know by looking up history, Great Britain is one out of the 5 major Edomite empires. Okay. Verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. All right. The beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th. The 8th is America, who came out of the 7th, which is Great Britain. You might ask how America came out of Britain. Well, America received its independence from Britain, which ultimately led to the establishment of America. To America being its own independent, country. Verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom yet as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Okay, I mentioned the 10 horns is the EU in the first video. So if you want, you can go to the first video and you can see who the 10 horns are. All right. It is EU. I believe you can read it in the 3rd verse. So if you want to go back and look up the 3rd, go to the last video and go to the 3rd verse, you'll find out. Okay. So continuing on, according to 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, the 8th verse, or Psalms, the 90th chapter, the 4th verse, you'll see 1,000 years is a day with the Most High. Okay, it's like a day with the Most High. So, knowing that, if you do the math, you'll understand what an hour is with the Most High. All right. So, continuing on, bear with me. Verse 13. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Slaki, verse 13. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay, so these have one mind, meaning the EU, which is the 10 horns, are in agreement with each other. The EU is going to give their power and their strength unto the beast, which is NATO. Okay. Which again, if you go to the first video, you'll see who is what nations make up NATO, which some EU nations are a part of NATO, but ultimately they're going to make a final decision. As it is written, they are in one mind to give their power unto NATO. The EU is going to make that decision eventually to give the power unto NATO. All right. So 14. These shall make war, because you know what? I'm not gonna. Well, verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called called and chosen, faithful and Slakia, read that over. Slakia. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. So the beast eventually is going to make war with the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. All right. It's a particular verse, but I'll put it in the description, where it says, the Lord shall sit. I believe it's in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. He's going to sit in the valley of Jehoshaphat to judge the nations. Okay, so by then, America will already be destroyed, but according to prophecy, and eventually, then the Lord is gonna, then the beast is gonna make war with the Lord, because the Lord is gonna, come back. He at that time he would already be back, and had already delivered the elect. All right, and they're gonna go. The Lord is gonna, destroy the beast. Okay, he's gonna destroy these other nations. As it is written in Joel, the 3rd chapter, he's gonna judge the nations. Okay, let's read that over. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Okay, as it is written in this chapter, he shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Verse 15, okay, are called and chosen is talking about the elect, all right, are called and chosen and are faithful, okay, the governing body, all right, of the first fruits. Continuing on, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, okay, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Okay, the reason why, because when you rewind back to the Slakia, bear with me a second, to the first verse, it mentions that the whore sitteth upon many waters. And you can fast forward to the 15th verse to see exactly what that's talking about. Okay. Now, to get a even more accurate breakdown, this verse is talking about America, which is also known as the Great Melting Pot, because every variety of cultures and people is here. They came here. So if you want to put 1 and 2 together, you can go to the first video and grab what I said about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, from what our elders taught us. Go to what was said in the first video about the first verse. Okay. We're going to continue on to verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, so we go into the book of Obadiah, and it mentions that her allies, which is America, are gonna, destroy, are gonna, turn their backs on her, and they're actually gonna buck up against her. Slakia, they're gonna buck up against her, and they're gonna go basically shoot her down with missiles. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that right now. Just bear with me a second. Obadiah.
According to Wikipedia, the Book of Obadiah is a book of the Bible whose authorship is attributed to Obadiah, a prophet who lived in the Assyrian period.
Alrighty. Slakia. Alright, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They have eaten thy bread. They have eaten thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in whom. Okay, so that's a quick precept on what's going to happen, how the allies will eventually turn on, basically how the beast will turn on the whore. Okay, which we know who the whore is, we know who the beast is. Verse 17, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reign over the kings of the earth. Okay, so Lord willing, you brothers and sisters was edified. I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, the true elders of Israel, who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this truth and sincerity. And also unto you women and children, keep on enduring, because these prophecies are coming to pass and salvation is very near. Until next time, Lord willing, brothers and sisters was edified. Shalom.